Hello everyone. Today I am going to discuss about climate justice system. Climate justice is a new terminology in modern climate science. The concept of climate justice is to consider human rights while preparing climate projects, climate policies, and to ensure human rights while developing development projects. As we know that access to safe drinking water, access to food, to live in pollution-free environment is basic rights of people. When, let's say, industries do excessive emission for economy purposes, or any development project that degrades environment by making air pollution, water pollution, or soil pollution, it halts that access of people to safe water, safe food, or to live in a pollution-free environment. That's why climate change justice or climate justice ensures that the people be given justice who are suffering from the wrongdoing of someone else. If we talk about countries, for example, the developed countries are doing excessive emissions for boost of their economies, and due to their actions, developing countries are suffering. There should be a justice mechanism to stop that discrimination. Contextual meaning of climate justice. As I earlier said that it is to link climate change with human rights, to live in a free environment, to live in a pollution-free environment is the basic right of humans. It means that we have to take care of those rights while making environmental or climate policies. Whenever there is a development on unsustainable patterns, it has consequences or adverse impact on environment. For example, excessive emissions cause flooding, temperature rise. Then the masses, the people who are not related to those development projects, those industries, are suffered. So that there should be an accountability to ensure the rights of those who are suffered from the development of others. This is called climate justice. Now, what are the basis of climate justice system? Climate justice as a concept recognizes that although global warming is a global crisis, if any industry or any country making emissions and contributing to the temperature rise and global warming, it is not about that single country. it is actually contributing to the overall global warming, means making it a global issue. Its effects are not felt evenly around the world. The worst effect of the climate crisis, for example, extreme heat, flooding, and crop failures, are disproportionately felt by countries and communities in the global south. Means if it is a global problem, global warming, let's take an example. If US, India, and China release excessive emissions, means not only China, US, and India are suffering from those emissions. It becomes a global issue, but the consequences are not felt same across the globe. Means those who have better economies, those who have ability to shift to green technology, those who have technological management, they will become safe. But those countries, for example, developing countries who have crippling economies, they don't have technology, they will suffer the most. For example, if we talk about Pakistan, Pakistan's emissions are less than 0.98%, but it is among the eighth most vulnerable countries to the climate change. This means that there should be an accountability to help those countries, to hold those countries responsible who are making the mess. This is the basis of climate change justice. Our common future and climate change justice. When we say that the climate change issues are mainly due to the unsustainable pattern of development of North and poverty of South. The concept is emanated from our common future. It is otherwise called Brundtland Report. The Brundtland Report stated that critical global environmental problems were primarily the result of the enormous poverty of the South and the non-sustainable pattern of consumption and production in the North. Means due to poverty, people in South are exploiting natural resources, and due to the non-sustainable consumption pattern and production in the North in developed countries. If we talk about legal instruments or legal basis of climate justice, there is a article in Kyoto Protocol called as Clean Development Mechanism. It is not directly related to climate justice system, but it gives a clue or basis for legalizing climate justice system. As the clean development mechanism suggests that there should be a mechanism to run for carbon offset scheme, allowing countries to fund greenhouse gas emissions reducing projects in other countries and claim the saved emissions as part of their own efforts to meet international emissions targets. Means those countries who are those countries who have excessive emissions should install a clean development projects in those countries whose emissions are less. The clean development projects are like uh, solar power generation, plantation, or wind energy projects. Means those countries who have greater emissions should invest in those countries whose emissions are less in terms of green and clean development projects. Key terms in climate justice system. Ecological debt. Ecological debt means, like in circular debt in economy, the circular debt is owed by poor countries to the rich countries. Contrary to that, ecological debt is owed by rich countries to poor countries because they have exploited the natural resources in poor countries, and now poor countries are suffering due to their actions, due to their wrongdoings. That's why they should give compensation to poor countries. Environmental justice. Environmental justice is the fair treatment and meaningful involvement of all people, regardless of race, color, nation, origin, or income, with respect to the development, implementation, and enforcement of environmental laws, regulation, and policies. When we make environmental laws or policies to protect humans from natural disasters or anthropogenic disasters, we should consider everyone, regardless of race, color, nation, and origin. If we only protect the urban areas, the rich ones, this is not a justice. We should consider all who are affected by environmental disasters. Climate justice is based on the principle that all people have a right to be protected from environmental pollution and to live and enjoy a clean and healthful environment. Means the state has responsibility to protect environment. Why? Because people have right to live in a clean environment. Thank you.